Okay, so Fear Street Cheerleaders flopped, and that's fine. Absolutely fine. I genuinely do not mind making videos that don't perform all that well because, it's such a niche, but a niche I love to be a part of. And I feel predominantly for myself, so I had my heart set on doing Fear Street Cheerleaders, and I did it. And I'm so proud and I'm so happy. But it does mean that I'm going to rush production of a book haul video because Imposter Toss episode 4 is not yet ready. I was really hoping it would be ready by this weekend, but it's just not. Will be coming after this video. And I'm also going to my very first haunted location of the year for Vlogs of Halloween 2025. So I really needed to film something. I really hope you don't mind. I really need to film something that I thought would be a little bit easier to film and will sustain me until Imposter Toss episode 4 is ready. So yeah, we have a book haul. The last book haul I did, I filmed near the end of March and then I uploaded it while I was in China. So I filmed it about like 2 to 3 weeks before that video went live. So it has actually been a hot minute since I last did a book haul. So this video will cover all the books I got at the end of March, all the books I got in April, and all the books I've got in May so far. It is nearing the end of May at the minute, and it was also my birthday this month too. So some books were acquired. In total, there are 42 in this video, which is, again, like quite a number. And I don't want to say as well, at the time of hauling these books, I actually read around about 40 books. So it feels like I'm keeping things very balanced with adding to my TBR and whatnot. So I don't feel too bad about this. And also it was my birthday, so why the hell not? So I'm going to get straight into the book haul because there are some cool ones I've thrifted that I want to show you. And there's, you know, the obvious suspects. There are some BookBox books. There are like sequels I'm really excited to get to. Just a whole array of things. And just looking at them as well, I think I have read quite a few of these already too, so that's awesome, including actually a DNF, which if you've seen one of my recent vlogs, you'll know exactly what book that is. So that's not good, but it's fine because we're just going with it, you know, we're just going with it. Anyway, let's get into the book haul. If you end up enjoying this video, please do give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll start with the books that I've thrifted. So firstly, just mentioning Fear Street Cheerleaders, which again, I'm not complaining. Some videos just do better than others, of course. And I ended up really enjoying reading them by the end of the day. And also, today, I'm filming this on Friday, 23rd of May. Today, the brand new Fear Street movie is coming out. In fact, it's already out. I'm waiting until a movie night tonight with my patrons to watch it. So I'm just so excited. So I'm in such a Fear Street mood. So I did end up finding 2 more trilogies on eBay. Very, very cheap. And I love it as well when a seller on eBay has the entire series in one go, because sometimes trying to collect separate entries in a series is so hard to do, especially books that are out of print and came out in the 90s. So this was so awesome. This is from the same seller as well. So we have 99 Fear Street as one of them. We have the first horror, the second horror, and the third horror. And it's very reminiscent of the first evil, the second evil, the third evil of cheerleaders. But honestly, I'm in such a Fear Street mood. So I do want to get these read at some point. And then I also got the Fear Street Saga series. So there is the Betrayal, the Secret, and the Burning. I do love these old school 90s nostalgia covers. I really do. So I think I might try and collect a couple more series within the Fear Street series and maybe do a video, like not exactly reading them one by one. So I won't do a video dedicated to just 99 Fear Street or a video dedicated to just the Fear Street sagas. Oh, that was the wrong way around. You know what I mean? I will probably cover these in the same video as well as a couple of other trilogies or series that are quite short and call it reading more of the Fear Street spin-offs. I'll make it sound good, okay? I'll make it sound good. But yeah, now that I've gotten like the main Goosebumps books out of the way by R.L. Stine, obviously there is still the Give Yourself Goosebumps spin-off series that I cannot get hold of. It's way too expensive and way too out of print for me. I have my sights set on Fear Street and reading all of Fear Street by R.L. Stine. So these were decently priced and managed to get them on eBay. So yay. I am also trying to collect these editions of Animorphs. So I do actually have most of them. I collected all of these when I read the entire series, and I really do like the series. I have my gripes with it, of course. I have a complete series reading vlog for Animorphs I did now 3 years ago. And so whenever a book from the Animorphs series goes up on eBay or ABA Books or anything like that, I do my best to try and get it. But it's really hard to do. And some of them are going for like £100 on their own, and I'm not spending that much money on one book. So as soon as one in this edition, like these are the editions I have to collect in order for all of them to match. So it's even harder now. But I really want the entire Animorphs Animorphs collection, and then I might end up trying to give them another read because I really did like it. I really did enjoy the majority of the series, and I love the fact that I'm building my nostalgia nook in my home library. And yeah, Animorphs, the series, it follows 5 kids or teens, and yeah, essentially there is an alien takeover, and only these kids are going to be the ones to stop it, and they can morph into different animals. So they have this like special ability. It did air on Nickelodeon back in the late 90s, so you may have heard of it, you may not have heard of it, but it was a really good series, a really good time. And yeah, I had to get this because I saw it was cheap, and whenever these books go up that are cheap, the ones that I don't have, I have to get them, otherwise they're gone, and then someone else will try and sell it for £100. So I'm actively trying to get more of these. I think I only have maybe like 10 more that I need to get to complete the collection. Another one that is very hard to get hold of is the Final Destination books. This one is Destination Zero. I have another one, so I have 2 now. And the new Final Destination film is coming out tomorrow. Actually, no, it's already out, but I'm going to see it tomorrow, and I'm so excited. I love the Final Destination movie franchise, and this one came up on eBay, again, relatively cheap. These books themselves also go for an extortionate amount of money, so when they come up for a really decent price, I try and go for it. And there is one book in the series that I think there's only like 1 copy of online, but someone's selling it for like £500 because the author's name was wrong, and so the publisher tried to recall the book. So only, I think, like maybe 100 or like 1,000 copies were printed, or maybe somewhere between there, and they got recalled and it never got republished because the publisher, like the small publisher, went under. So it's a really hard book to get hold of. So I don't think I'll ever get that copy, that physical copy of that book. I think it's called Death of the Senses. However, on the Final Destination Reddit, there is someone who has uploaded all of the Final Destination books as PDFs, and I've tried to download them onto my Kindle, but my Kindle is broke and I don't want to buy a new one. So I'm going to try and read them on maybe my iPad or something and do a reading vlog for Final Destination books. But I freaking love the series, the horror franchise, and I think reading the books will be so amazing. Like, a lot of people do love these books. A lot of people on Reddit as well talk about these books quite a few times. And this one is a survivor of a terrorist attack. And like in each Final Destination movie, each of the main characters get a premonition of some catastrophic event that kills everyone, but they have this premonition beforehand so they can prevent their own deaths as well as some people around them. And then death comes for them one by one. So in this one, yeah, it sounds like there was a terrorist attack that somebody ends up surviving. And also apparently it has ties to Victorian England in Jack the Ripper. And that just intrigues me so much. But I've heard great things about the Final Destination books. So now I have 2 of them. I believe there are maybe like 9, including the novelizations maybe. So yeah, this is another little task of mine. I just love collecting out of print books. They're just so fun. Another couple that are out of print as well is Charmed Season 10 Volume 1 and Charmed Season 10 Volume 2. I've had Season 10 Volume 3 for years, but these 2 have been impossible to get hold of. I borrowed this actually from G from Book Roast years ago, and it took me like 3 years to give her it back. And I love Charmed. Charmed is my favorite TV show of all time. And I read the Season 9 comics. I read this issue as well when I borrowed it from G, but now I need to kind of like go through them again and reread the comics. I think that would be really fun. But yeah, now I have all of the Charmed comics from Season 9 Volume 1 through to Season 10 Volume 3, because there was never a Volume 4. There was supposed to be, but it got cancelled, and they've been out of print since. So yeah, I managed to get them pretty decently priced. A huge shout out to my patrons as well for keeping me on it as well, for sending me links to them. And like, oh my god, like Season 10 Volume 1 is available on eBay and it's such a good price. I'm like, thank you so much, snatched it up. So yeah, another thrifting success. Oh, when I was in China, my journey back home was going to be like one of the longest and one of the worst. And I didn't have any more books to read for the journey because I had essentially finished the books I took with me. So I needed to find a couple of books in China that I could possibly read on the journey home. And it was a nigh impossible task. One of them was Don Quixote. I think this might just be the first half of it or something. And I tried to read it. I think I got like 11, 15 pages in or something, and it was so hard. It was so hard to read. And this one essentially just follows Don Quixote and how he perceives the world. And I think there's like some imagination behind it too. Honestly, I was just lost after the first chapter. I was already like, okay, I don't think this is really for me, but I needed something for the travel home, so that's why I ended up getting this one. And I feel like this is pretty cool as well. And I wanted to buy a book in China as well, so I could like have that in my collection to say that, oh, I got this from China. And it does have, you know, Chinese on there. It is in English, so yeah, I obviously could read it. But yeah, I love the fact that I could buy this in China and get it. And then I did have a train ride home as well, and I didn't want to read that. Genuinely, I was like trying so hard and I just didn't want to read it. So I did end up finding The Magician by W. Somerset Maugham. And this one is a gothic classic. And I was like, I've never heard of this before, but it sounds intriguing. I can read this on my train ride home. It is set in a bohemian cafe in Paris in the 19th century. And there is a sinister magician called Alistair Crowley. That name really does ring a bell though. I don't know why. Crowley? Am I thinking of Supernatural? There was like things about it. Like apparently this delves into the occult. It's a compelling horror story. And yeah, I was supposed to start this on my train home from China, but I was knackered by then. I was exhausted. So I ended up not reading it then either. But hey, at least I had the options. And this actually sounds like something that I would enjoy. And it was one that I'd never heard of before. So yay. I picked up When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy because this is the BookTube pick for May. And I am going to be a co-host for the May Book Club. And I've never read a Nat Cassidy book before. And the reviews so far of this have been, you know, slightly mixed. I've heard good things, I've heard bad things, and I'm desperate to love this book because the past few BookTube live shows I've been part of, I've been quite negative, and I don't want to be negative. I want to find a book that I love and talk about it and gush about it in one of the live shows that Gabby hosts. And I'm doing this live show, I think next week, so I'll put a link down in the description box if the link to the live show is out yet. But it is going to be next week with me and Steph from Steph Loves, and obviously Gabby from Gabby Reads. This follows Jess, and she ends up coming across this 5-year-old boy outside of her apartment. And then there's like an encounter with this boy's abusive father, and Jess runs away with this young boy. That's all I pretty much know about it, and I'm so excited to see what everyone ends up thinking about it, because a lot of people do like Nat Cassidy's other books. I have Nestlings by Nat Cassidy. I haven't read it yet. So if I end up enjoying this, I will probably bump Nestlings up on my TBR. If I don't love this, I will still give Nestlings a go, because I've heard great things about it. And obviously I'm going to give it a go because I have it. Next, I did buy 4 books for my Cat Dad Reads Cat Books video. In 2 of these, I ended up reading The Traveling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arakawa, and I ended up reading, not that one. Oh, the other ones I read, there's one coming up, it's at the bottom of the pile. Okay, the other one that I read, I'd already owned. I thought I'd read 2 from this, but I hadn't. I've only read 1. So I still need to read If Cats Disappear from the Will by Genki Kawamura, Will Prescribe Your Cat by Suyo Ishida, and The Kamigawa Food Detectives by Hisashi Kashiwai. So yeah, these are all about cats. And I would have read more in that video, but I was getting a little bit fed up reading like kind of healing fiction, contemporary fiction, some of them with a little sprinkle of fantasy in a way, because sometimes you will get the cat's perspective, but I couldn't do any more. It was way too much at once, and I do want to come back to these. One of the ones I'm the most excited for is Will Prescribe You a Cat. This one is essentially about a clinic where they offer cats as medication. Like, so they will give you a cat. We'll prescribe you a cat. If you are going through a hard time, this is what will help. So I found that premise so cool, and I wanted to read this so bad. Ash and Tobu, I made them pick my TBR for that video. They didn't pick this one because they're always against me. It's like they hate me or something. And The Traveling Cat Chronicles was very good. It followed our main character who is looking for someone to look after their cat. They're going through something and they need someone to look after this cat. A little bit sad, very well written. One that I definitely want to keep. Even though I've read it, I do think this is one that I would like to revisit at some point in my life. I think it would be so cool to do that. And yeah, I still really enjoyed it. So I will give the other 2 a read at some point. I ended up picking up Done and Dusted by Lila Sage because I really enjoyed Swift and Saddled last year, which was the second book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. Yeah, that's what it's called. Made like my top 25 of the year, although it was like very low, and mainly because it was just an entertaining, fun time, and I just needed that at the time. So I'm saving this for when I need some more like mindless fun. So we follow Emmy. She's accomplished so much that she wanted to accomplish in her life. I believe she goes through an accident and she has to go back to her small hometown. She ends up meeting a bar owner called Luke, and it's romance. So it's cowboy romance. So we kind of know what's going to happen next. And sometimes that's all you need. I ended up picking up Terry Pratchett's Moat because I am planning on doing that Discworld series. I've been mentioning it so many times, but I do want to try Discworld for the first time. And I said I'm going to commit to the first 10, but I'm going to do the first episode of it, hopefully in the next couple of months. And a lot of people told me that Moat was one of their favorites. And this is the 4th book. So I was like, should I do 3 books in one video? Should I do 4 books in one video? And I think this is decided for me. I want to do the first 4 books in that first video, because if a lot of people love Moat, and you know, a lot of people said, oh yeah, the start of Discworld is a little bit rocky. And honestly, that's fine. Like, a lot of series do need a little bit more time to find their feet, but I do want to go in order of when they were published. And so I have the first 3 already. And then I thought, you know what, let's put in the 4th book as well and read the first 4 in that video, because this is probably the one that I'm the most likely gonna enjoy. And this one, I believe we follow Death in the Discworld series, and that honestly intrigues me. That sounds so good. Sounds better than the summaries of the previous 3 books. But I'm telling you, even if I don't like this book all that much, there will be 6 more chances afterwards for me to really get fully immersed in that world. And I also want to do that series like very spoiler heavy. So let me know if that's okay with you. I always find it hard to do a full series if I'm going to talk about spoiler free, because there's only so much I can say without repeating myself. And I want to be able to dissect scenes and talk about scenes I love and things like that. And it is a bit of an older series. So let me know if that's okay. But yeah, this is a project that I keep hopping on about and just not doing yet. But hopefully very soon I will. I have hauled 6 Stephen King books. The first 2 I want to talk about is Night Shift and Different Seasons. I love these editions so much. These are the storyteller editions, I believe, and they all have beautiful spines. My Stephen King collection is coming along lovely, but I am doing my Gavin Reads All the King series. I just did episode 5, which is the biggest episode so far. I did It, Misery, The Tommyknockers, and Thinner, and that was really, really fun to do, although exhausting. So episode 6 will be covering the short story collection Night Shift and the 4 novellas within Different Seasons. So pretty much like every 2 to 3 episodes, I want to cover the short story collections in novellas. And Night Shift has some really popular ones as well. It has like Children of the Corn in it. I believe there's a new film come out called The Boogeyman, which I believe was a short story in here that was inspired. Jerusalem's Lot. I've heard about, yeah, the Boogeyman's there. The Lawnmower Man. Oh my God, if you know my law and my relationship with lawnmowers, or lawnmowering, don't Urban Dictionary that. You might know that this might be a tough read for me. But yeah, Children of the Corn is in there, which is very popular. But it's Different Seasons, I think, that I'm the most excited about, because it has the novella The Body, which I believe inspired the movie Stand By Me, which I've never seen, by the way. Actually, I've never seen that, but I've heard great things about it. Also, Shawshank Redemption. Again, another film I've never seen, but heard great things about. There's also Apt Pupil and The Breathing Method. And these are proper novellas. So I thought I would just cover 2 books in the next one, because yeah, it just seems like there's going to be a lot to cover there. And the other 4 Stephen King books I hold are the books for episode 7, which will be coming out maybe later this year. Like I need to slow down with those videos, but I am going through Stephen King's catalogue pretty quickly. But for episode 7, I have Dolores Claiborne, which I've already read. I read years and years and years ago, so I need a reread. Same with Gerald's Game. I read this years ago and I need a reread. But from what I remember, I enjoyed these 2, so I'm looking forward to getting back to them. And then I also have Needful Things, which I've never read before. I believe this is about a pawn shop where people can come and they can get anything they want, but they have to do something in exchange for that for the owner. And the owner kind of wants them to do like dangerous pranks on other people or like do something sinister. I don't know. Sounds great though. And then The Dark Half, I have no clue what it's about. I just believe that it might have something to do with the fact that Stephen King was also Richard Bachman and that identity was exposed, and kind of the pull and tug between those identities might be explored in this. I don't know. But episode 7 should be a good one. Very excited to do that later on this year. Next, I have an interesting one. I have You Shall Not Pass Without Sucking Me Off by Missy Love. So this is obviously a Lord of the Rings retelling. And what of it? What of it? I will take no questions. However, I will just read what the blurb of this says. Cherry could not quench her desire to explore. Sent off on her journey up the perilous monster mountain, searching for a great treasure, she encounters a wizard. However, this wizard is much more horny than most. Cherry must weigh up his offer. Should she give in or continue on? Dive into this Missy Love novella and experience the thrill of a perverted wizard. It's the title for me. You Shall Not Pass Without Sucking Me Off. I'm just We'll not speak of that again until I read it. I picked up Heaven Official Blessing Volume 2. This is the gorgeous, gorgeous new like deluxe edition that was released recently. I read Volume 1 when I was in China, because this is Danmai, so it originates from China, and I really enjoyed the first volume. There is this brewing love story that I'm signed up for. I am genuinely signed up for. But I really enjoyed the delving into like gods and what they have to do, like the credits they earn, and the fact that our main character was like not the perfect god. He owed a lot of credits and it was a bit mischievous, a bit troublesome. And there's just like this element of adventure and this great fantasy world that is being built up and set up in it. So I will 100% give this one a read. Hopefully for our fantasy bingo, I really want to put that in. I actually need to properly start that as well. I've just been too swamped. I've been too swamped. But I promised myself I wasn't going to buy this unless I'd enjoyed the first volume, and enjoyed the first volume I did. So I'm excited to continue on. Lots of people wanted me to read this Danmai and also other Danmais, which I would love to try out. I feel like I should probably finish at least one Danmai series before starting another one, maybe. Oh, next I have 2 Dungeon Crawler call books. The Butcher's Masquerade and The Eye of the Bedlam Bride. Book 6 has just come out. This is book 6 and this one's book 5. Have you seen how massive they are? The Eye of the Bedlam Bride is over 800 pages. Like, this series is just getting bigger and bigger. Also, I will say as well, buy these off Sci-Fi. Do not buy these off Amazon. Buy these off Sci-Fi. They're quite, well, they're cheaper on Sci-Fi, and you can also use my discount code GAVGAV for 5% off. That's what I did. And yeah, I freaking love the Dungeon Crawler Call series so much. I just reread the first book recently for a Patreon book club, and I just loved it all over again. I gave it 5 stars. So much fun. Let me just tell you what it's about for the 15 millionth time. This one follows Carl and his ex-girlfriend's cat, Princess Donut, as they are thrust into these dungeons by these aliens who have taken over planet Earth, and they have to go through level by level these dungeons in order to win. It is a lit RPG, so much fun, so many laughs, feels like a video game, but in a book format, and I freaking love it, okay? So I do want to continue on with the series. I did want to do a complete series reading vlog, but honestly, my will and my ability to do those at the minute is just so low. So I feel like I just need to continue the series when I feel like continuing the series, and I don't have to always do complete series reading vlogs to continue. I can just read them for a normal vlog if I want to. Anyway, time for this wonderful, beautiful stack here for the last of the book haul. Firstly, I have Kiki's Delivery Service by Eiko Kodono. I read this one years ago and I really enjoyed it. I always bring out this description whenever I talk about this book because I freaking love it. Like, I just love the first couple of lines. Once there was a little town sandwiched between a deep forest and gentle grassy hills. The town was built on an easy southward slope, its roofs the colour of dark slices of toast all in a row. Like, that is just such a great start, and I always mention it because I always remember how cozy and lovely this made me feel. This was a Fairy Loot edition that came out recently. I pre-ordered it. And yeah, this was made into a Studio Ghibli film. From what I remember, the film does do a lot of this justice while also embellishing certain aspects of it. But this does follow Kiki. She is a witch who goes to this new town and she ends up setting up a delivery service, essentially. I need to rewatch the film. It's been so long since I watched the film. But yeah, really enjoyed this when I first read it and so happy to have a copy like this because I also have House Moving Castle, which I pre-ordered from Fairy Loot also. So it's nice to have the books that inspired Studio Ghibli looking so lovely together. Yeah, it's going to be a lovely collection. I hope they do more. I really do. Oh, next I have A Drop of Corruption by Robert Juxon Bennett. This one is the sequel to The Tea and Cup, which I did enjoy. I liked it a lot. I said I was underwhelmed by the first book last year because I was. Like, the expectations for it were so high. I don't think it could have really matched it. But I do want to reread The Tea and Cup before going into this one. It is a kind of series that is a little bit like Attack on Titan in a way, but also a bit of a murder mystery too. Essentially, yeah, it's like solving a murder mystery in a fantasy world. And so it is a recipe for success with me because I love stuff like that. But I think I need to go into The Tea and Cup with a little bit lower expectations, you know? But I was very excited to pick up the sequel though. Like, it's definitely one where I want to continue so badly, and continue I shall. Okay, confession time. Tea with the Altar I got from Waterstones. It's a Waterstones exclusive. I have the first 2 books also as Waterstones exclusive because this is a 3rd book in a series of a series I haven't even started yet. I do mention this in my Embossed Toss video that I'm filming right now. There are some series that I need to start where I own like the rest of the series, or at least more books in that series, and I really should start it. Can't Spell Trees Without Tea is one of those examples. Here they are actually. 1, 2, and 3 all together there, looking absolutely stunning. So like, I didn't want this to go out of print and not be able to get hold of it when I got the first 2 like this. So I really am hoping I enjoy the series. I think this follows a bodyguard and a mage who end up retiring from, you know, battles and wars and things, and they end up opening a bookshop, I think. So it sounds like Fairy Legends and Lattes, very cozy fantasy. So there is no reason why I shouldn't enjoy it. Next, I have The Wind Weaver by Julie Johnson. This one came in a Fairy Loot Romantasy recently, I believe it was, yeah. In the name of this author took me back just a little bit. Julie Johnson is the name of an aunt of mine who passed away in 2020. She was actually the first person to ever hold me. She, even before my mother, before my father, she held me. So yeah, as soon as I opened that romantasy box and I saw, oh, Julie Johnson, like, it just took me back just a little bit. This one is set in a war-torn town where people are scared of magic, and I believe magic users. I don't know how to pronounce the main character's name, but I think it might be Raya or Rai, and she is sentenced to death, but she is saved at the last possible minute. And I think it's like kind of the adventure and romance that comes from that. It does sound really good. It's a very big one, actually. It's a pretty big romantasy book. And I do want to do a romantasy video like very, very soon. And like this was a title that I said to Becca because Becca was looking for titles for her romantasy rundown video. And I said one that she laughed at, but she didn't use. And that was, do I like romantasy? Will romantasy about that? So look, that's brilliant. That's genius. Becca didn't use it for one of her romantasy rundown videos, so I'm using it, okay? So I just want to do a video read more romantasy. I did a Goodreads romantasy video last year, and there was some surprising gems in there. I also just read the first book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series a couple of weeks ago, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. So I do think I like romantasy. I just need to find more that I really enjoy. So it'll be nice to see if this one is one that does it for me. I also have The Prince Without Sorrow by Maythri Wijaskara, and this came from Illumicrate. And we follow a prince who is outcasted because he opposed his father. And the reason why he opposed his father is because his father got a whole bunch of witches killed, I think. Like, he demanded the annihilation of witches, and the prince was against that. And I also believe we follow a witch who is seeking revenge. So, sounds really good. Love this copy as well. Illumicrate did a lovely job on this. Love the cover so much. Love the green of it too. Hello, Tobu. Oh, you are so cute. What's this? Tobu, what's this? What's this? Let's pick you up. No, don't run, don't run, don't run, don't run, don't run. Come back, I want to pick you up. I want to pick you up. No, come back. Ha, 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 I got you. I got you. I had to grab him. Didn't I? Didn't I? Yes, I did. Look, you come into my room while I'm working. You have to suffer the consequences. Can I have a kiss? Can I have a kiss? Oh, thank you. I kissed Tobu and I liked it. The taste of his cherry chapstick. I kissed Tobu just to try it. I hope Ash doesn't mind it. I'm out of breath chasing him now. Okay, next I have The Staircase in the Woods by Chuck Wendig. This was in an Evernight box. This one follows 5 high school friends and they have sworn an oath, a blood oath, that they must always protect one another. While on a camping trip, they end up finding a mysterious staircase in the woods that seemingly goes nowhere. So colour me intrigued. If only this had come out last year, I could have read this when I went camping and I did my haunted camping vlog. It just means I might have to do another camping vlog at some point. I also got from the Broken Binding Labyrinth's Heart by M.A. Carrick. This is the 3rd book in the series that started with A Mask of Mirrors. Haven't read the series yet. It is part of the Broken Binding subscription. They send trilogies. So this was the latest trilogy that just finished. And everyone's telling me, oh, read The Mask of Mirrors. It's so good. And I will. I'm thinking of doing it for our fantasy bingo. But yet another stunning edition. And if you've seen my previous book haul, I think in the last book haul, I showed you the 1st and 2nd book in the series. So I let you know what it was about. And yeah, 3rd and final book in that series. All of the books are stunning. Honestly, Broken Binding, knock it out of the park every time. Next from Illumicrate is The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. I had a few people tell me this is brilliant and I was going to buy this myself. And then they were like, no, Gavin, don't do that. It's in an upcoming book box that you have. I was like, okay, thank you so much for letting me know. I do follow some accounts on Instagram that give you spoilers for upcoming book boxes, but I always forget to check. So in this one, there is an emperor who is stepping down, and there are 7 contenders to the throne. It's really cool because it says here, trained at rival monasteries, each contender is inspired by a sacred animal. So we have fox, raven, tiger, ox, bear, monkey, and hound. In 8th, the dragon proxy will be revealed once the trials have begun. So there's actually 8 warriors who I think have to fight it out to get this throne. I don't know, it just sounds great. It sounds awesome, and I've heard nothing but great things about it. Next, I have the 3rd and final book in what I think is called the Final Strife series. I've read the first 2 books, and they were written by Sarah Alarifi, and it's the kind of series where I've enjoyed it. It hasn't been one of my favorites, but I've enjoyed it enough that I want to continue reading. And so, yeah, the 3rd book came out recently. Waterstone's exclusive, I believe. Also signed by the author too, which is so cool. But yeah, a super, super fun, enjoyable series that I have been reading very slowly, but enjoying nonetheless. Oh, next. Oh, this next book. I started it. I DNF'd it at page 334. The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. This was from the Broken Binding. It is a really beautiful edition, even though my edition is upside down. Like, it's actually upside down. But that's fine. That's fine. It's not like I'm keeping it anyway. Yeah, this one follows Brother Diaz and his little ragtag team of bad people as they try to get the thief on the throne. I hated the humor in this. I really didn't like the writing style. I don't think Joe Abercrombie is for me. Read this recently for my 24-hour timer challenge video. And yeah, 334 pages. And it was boring. I didn't like what was happening. yeah, I just really didn't freaking like it. Really hope my library can get some good money off this, because I ain't selling it. I can't be bothered with that. And then I also have the most recent one in my collection, Broken Souls and Bones by L.J. Andrews. This is another fairy little romantic book that I'd never heard of before, but again, absolutely enjoy how it looks. This one's in a kingdom where we follow Lyra, and she is trying to avoid the attention of this magic-obsessed king. There is this really sexy, hunky soldier who ends up discovering that Lyra is a melder. That means she is gifted in 3 magical crafts: Bone, Blood, and Soul, and is very highly sought after. Sounds like her quiet peaceful life will not be quiet and peaceful anymore. And I'm already shipping the soldier with Lyra, I'm just saying. Especially if he's got a big dick. And the last 2 books are just manga. So I have Frieren Volume 12, which I have been liking the series so far. I've read the first 6, and this was the most recent volume to come out. And then Junji Ito's Cat Diary, Yonamu by Junji Ito. I read this one for my cat. Dad Reads Cat Books video, and I like this. I like this quite a bit. Very relatable, just about owning cats and how horrifying that can be sometimes, but also how sweet and wonderful it is too. So yeah, surprisingly sad as well, I'm just gonna say. So that was my 42 book haul that I was hoping I would film in a few months' time, not right now, but I still hope you enjoyed nonetheless. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave all your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the video. Is there anything that I hold in this video that you would be interested in reading yourself? Or is there anything you would recommend from this haul that I should bump up my TBR and read immediately? Let me know down in the comments. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons for supporting my channel. If you'd like to join my Patreon, then the link is in the description box. But yeah, I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye.